Anyway, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. So, Linda, I posed the question here earlier when I was reading this story. The Biden administration came out this week and suggested that we need to know who's been vaccinated, who's not been vaccinated, and they're going to encourage states and counties and cities to get volunteers to go door to door and ask the residents of these places who's been vaccinated.
Well, how will they know if they're telling the truth?
Well, I don't know.
You know?
That was kind of my point.
You could give a politically correct answer. Is it any of their business, really? I mean, they
claim
our
it
records.
Is.
In a sense, they already have records because they have our name and address and whatever when we went and got this shot. If they want to know, look it up. It's there.
That's kind of what I was thinking, although I would hate to think that information was available for anybody to have access to and look up.
But
what do they call it? HIPAA?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Your records are supposed to be private.
Supposed to be private.
That's right.
I don't know that there's anything in this country anymore that's private if you really want to know.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And if you think there is, well, honey, wake up.
Yeah.
I've got lakefront property right over here. Of course, right now, there could be lakefront property.
Yeah. I guess because of the HIPAA regulations, they can't cross-reference to know who has and who has not. So now they're talking about this volunteer effort to go out and do this.
Let's just say, okay, our population in this county is 26,000. And we have vaccinated 17.5.
Well, I will tell you that now.
That's an arbitrary number.
I will tell you right now that in Eddy County, 46.3% of Eddy County residents have had at least one shot. Now, they did make a modification to the categories that they're doing. Prior to recently, it was 16 and older. Now they align themselves with the CDC. So it's 18 and older. And then the other subset is 12 to 17. So it doesn't say on here on this map. Let's look at the legend.
One of the youth that I have working has gotten her vaccination.
Right.
I'd have to look to see her age.
Let's see. Due to the changes in the federal vaccine database and or updated information shared with the New Mexico Department of Health, changes in the attribution of federal data by county may occur. County level data is based on the 18-plus population. So you could do the math using your calculation.
Yeah.
So if you know what the population of Eddy County is,
well, then they can just take those numbers and say, the population of the United States is, and we have done this county by county. This is what we've come up with. Has it been beneficial? Are people using it? Yes, no. Do more need to? Yes, no. That's all they need to do.
Yeah, what is going on with this map? So right now, Eddy County, 46.3% of residents have had at least one shot. 40.1% have had both shots.
Okay.
And that's the population of Eddy County, 18 years of age and older. So do the math.
Yeah.
You've got the census data.
Right.
You can get pretty close. If there's X amount of people in Eddy County and X amount of those people are 18 and older and X percentage of that population has been fully vaccinated, then you know how many people. Why do you need to know on a house-by-house basis?
Census.
I know.
So take the numbers and call it good because, people that work are never going to be home. People that are gone, you're going to have a heck of a time catching everybody anyhow.
Yeah. So when the volunteer comes to your door, are you going to welcome them in, and what kind of snacks are you going to offer?
People don't get in my house unless I know them very well.
So that's how you're going to welcome the vaccine volunteers.
I might go to the door if I hear them. If I'm in the yard somewhere, I don't know when somebody comes to the front door. I don't have a Ring doorbell that makes wind chimes in my pocket all the time. No. No.
Yeah. Would you? And I don't mean to put
Have
you
I
on the
been
spot.
vaccinated?
No,
Yes.
no. That wasn't the question. The question.
No, I answered it anyhow.
Would that be a question that you would answer if a volunteer came to your door
Yeah, I
to ask
probably
that?
would.
You would probably answer
I
that
probably
question.
would.
Yeah.
Because I'm not lying. So why say no if I have, and why say yes if I... You know,
Yeah.
when you tell a lie, you have to remember what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And this pertains to
Yeah.
anybody for anything.
Yeah.
If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember because it's the truth and you already know what it
No,
is.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. I will
I try to
not
tell
answer the
kids
question.
that.
I
I
will
try
not
to tell.
answer the question.
Well,
Somebody comes
you're
to
one
my
of
door and
those.
knocks on the door and asks that question, I'm going to politely ask them to leave
Why don't you
and
ask
tell them
if
it is
they've-
none of their business.
You could say, have you been vaccinated?
No, I don't even want to get into a conversation with
Oh,
them. I'll
okay.
just be very polite and say,
No.
I understand why you're here. I will not answer any of your questions, and you may leave.
Well, okay.
And that's what I'll do. It's none of their business, whether I have or haven't, or who in the house has or who in the house hasn't. It's none of
Yeah,
their
but
business.
when, you know, the census takers ask you how many toilets are in your house, is it really pertinent to the grand scheme of things?
Well, and you know, you raise an interesting point because there's the regular census questionnaire, which is pretty basic.
Yeah.
How many people live in the house?
Right. That I can understand.
It's a basic one. You're talking about the detailed survey, and where they get into number of toilets and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm
never
with you.
understood.
Well, they use it for all kinds of research, and other entities and agencies access the information, and you know. But I'm kind of like you. I'm thinking the Constitution said we need to do a census every 10 years. Isn't a census
Just counting people.
counting people?
Yeah.
Because we need to know how many people live in
Yes,
a particular area.
And it is for your benefit to let them know how many people are in your household.
Right.
They don't ask if they're criminals, if they're illegal, if they're smuggling, you know, or, you know, if they're purple with antlers. They just want to know how many living, breathing people are in your house.
Yeah.
It's for your benefit because funding and infrastructure
right.
and all those good things come from
Right,
knowing
but the
that.
detailed survey,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've ever actually done that, because that was
I think
something.
years ago I had one.
But
that
they
was
put
like
all those
that.
warnings on there. This is required by federal law. You must do
Oh,
this.
yeah.
You have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know that I ever actually. That could be what gets me thrown in jail. Is I
Because
never
you didn't tell me
filled
how
out.
many toilets you had.
I never filled out the full census survey.
There you go.
But no, I'm not going to answer that question when they come to the door. I'm not going to offer them. I'll be nice about it. Okay, I'm not going to be threatening. I'm not going to do anything like that. But I'm going to politely say,
Well, first
none of
they
your
got to
business.
catch you at home.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll politely say it's none of your business. Go away. Mm-hmm. And I will stand there and make
Thank
sure
you very
that
much,
they
and I am shutting the door.
that they leave the property. But I can't. The audacity of these people to think it's their right to know whether or not you've been vaccinated,
Oh,
and you
they're
are somehow
Democrats.
un-American if you are opposed to it.
Yeah, well,
So anyway, it'll be interesting to see if they actually get any volunteers to do that.
oh, I'm sure. They
And
won't be
volunteer has a totally
volunteers.
different term nowadays. Volunteers even get paid.
That's what I was going to say. They're not volunteers. I'm sure there's dollars behind it
Yeah.
because everybody expects money for doing anything. You know.
Yeah, this is a comment on the Facebook page. Let's back up. Do you think they'll even be able to obtain any volunteers to go around the area to ask people? The census had a hard enough time, and it would be kind of scary to do in our part of the state. And I agree entirely. And I don't think they're going to be volunteers. They're going to have to pay people. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, how would you like to go around and have 99% of the people that you go up to? I'm here to see if you've been vaccinated. Slam.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here to see if you've been vaccinated. Click, click.
Oh no,
You know.
it's the 3 pit bulls that live in the house.
I'm here to see if you've been vaccinated. You know, yeah. Who's
Yeah.
going to do that? Who is
Yeah.
going to do that?
Yeah.
Even for money.
I don't have that much ambition. I just mowed my yard last night. All my ambition is gone until probably 5:30 tonight when I get to mow the backyard. It's a huge yard, people. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. I can't imagine them getting volunteers. I just, Now some parts of the state,
Well, it depends.
they're probably be lining up at the door to go
money
around.
talks. It depends on what they're going to get paid.
Yeah. Some parts of the state, they're probably going to be calling up and saying, you don't need to come by. Let me tell you.
Well, I'm back to, you have the records.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have names and stuff. You just have to have the numbers. Go to the medical facilities. How many people have been vaccinated here?
Yeah.
You don't have to know who, just how many. Very simple. Get it over with. They really want to know.
If they really want to know. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a...
They spend a lot of money doing stupid stuff.
Hey, they're spending...
There's easier ways to find out.
Hey, there's $10 million you and I are trying to get a piece of. So.
Well, that was equally dumb. But you know what? If they're dumb enough to give it away, I'll take it. I can use it.
Well, see, here's the conspiracy thing in my brain is they're going to pull my name, right? And they're going to run it through their little database, and they're going to see the party affiliation and how I voted the last...
Oh.
And they're going to go... tear that one up and throw it away, and then they're going to pull another one.
Well, there will never, never be another honest election. Mark my words. And the Democrats have bought the votes for the next election.
Mm-hmm.
It's over right now.
Right.
Because of all the stimulus money that they have given out. Do you think that anybody that received one of those checks, unless you are a diehard Republican, if you're on the fence, which we call a mugwump, if you're on the fence and you've never voted before, you're going to vote Democratic because you want more free handouts. And where they think this money is coming from, it's kind of like the back room at Walmart where the veggies and meat comes from. No, they're printing it in the back room and handing it out like, you know, and pretty soon it's going to be worthless.
Yeah.
But they have just bought.
Well, you remember
how many votes?
Do you remember this when the first stimulus checks went out, or first whatever, and when Trump was president?
Oh, that first 600?
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And his signature was going to be on those. And the left went nuts. How dare you even think about, why would you do that? That's terrible. That's horrible. And it was just because he put his name on it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sure some of these other politicians want to make sure their names are. We were talking about this earlier when I first moved to New Mexico. And we were driving from Albuquerque towards Santa Fe on the interstate. Mm-hmm. And as you crossed into the 3rd Congressional District, there was a ginormous billboard up on a hill overlooking the interstate. And there was Bill Richardson standing at a desk. And it said, Congressman Bill Richardson welcomes you to the 3rd Congressional District. I'd never seen anything like that before.
Wow.
And I lived in Mississippi, Linda. I lived in Alabama.
Oh, boy.
I'd never seen anything like that in those corrupt counties and cities. And then I moved to New Mexico, and there's old Bill Richardson welcoming me to his district.
I saw him on television on the news last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, is he talking about Korea?
First time, no. He
okay.
wasn't speaking. He was just, and I don't even remember what the news was about right this minute.
He's probably trying to hitch a ride on that flight. Isn't that flight with Branson, isn't that supposed to be this weekend or something like that? They're supposed to do that.
Could be. But there he was in the picture, you know, and I was like, whoa, I thought you were dead. No, I didn't know that he was still healthy enough or, you know, around.
You know, here's the thing that bothers me about this, and this is why I get bothered by when the census goes beyond how many people are here.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Is when they start determining what kind of toilet or how many toilets you have. Then they want to know what kind of toilet you have. You know, what kind of heating and cooling do you have? What kind of heating and cooling do you have? Because all these central planners are going to start gathering up all this data, and they're going to say, well, Linda, you don't have the right air conditioner in your house.
Yeah.
It's not efficient enough. So you have to buy a new air conditioner for your house. If you don't, you know, penalties will ensue. You have the wrong toilet in your house. You're too wasteful with your water. Matter of fact, there's only one of you in the house. Why do you have 2 toilets or 3 toilets, whatever it is that you have? That's too many toilets.
If one dies, you need the next one.
But I understand.
Yeah.
But it's not. But this is the type of thing that this could
yes.
lead to from the gathering of some of this information.
Yeah.
Is we're going to determine, well,
if you dig deep enough, you can find all kinds of things that they might be looking for and then make it mandatory that you conform to what they think are the standards that you should be living by.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what country do we want to move to right now where there's freedoms? Because the more you keep reading about what freedoms are slowly being taken away from us that we don't realize. And then one of these days, somebody's going to wake up and say, wait a minute, how'd this happen? Well, it's when they were handing out money to you and determining what you should do and what you should drive and how you should heat and how you should eat and, on and on and on.
Yep.
Well, surprise, we're now beyond socialism.
Oh, no, we're moving in that direction.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and what's sad is so many people don't see that.
Right.
And what it is we're trading off security we're trading our freedoms for supposed security. We're trading off our freedoms for supposed care and all that kind of stuff.
Well, they just need to go, everybody needs to go back and read the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
You might learn something.
Yeah, well.
And if you can't read cursive, get somebody to read it to you. I'm sure you can find it online verbatim and listen.
It's online.
You cannot read it.
Barking guys told me, and I've heard this too. What is it? Is it the Heritage? Not the Heritage. Hillsdale College has tons of online courses and classes where you can have access to read and study and learn about the Constitution and the founding and fathers and the documents that led up to the drafting of the Constitution, all that. Hillsdale College has a lot of that stuff that I've heard people talk about that. Well, we need to take a break for news.
Somebody's car alarm. If you happen to be listening to the radio and you're anywhere near the station,
well, I'm not really.
Your car is going off right now.
I'm not really hearing it. Somebody's probably got up and upset because they were running to the door to answer the virus question. No, this makes me mad. It really does. It really upsets and disappoints me that not that this group of people would propose this, and not that this group of people would suggest why it's patriotic to do so, but that the opposition, the pushback is just not there. The people aren't just standing up and saying, you realize this is stupid. You realize this is bordering on the edge of so many. So anyway,
so much have gone on that we just sit back and watch it happen. Well, I can't do anything about it attitude.
That's right. We'll be back on the other side with trash talk with Linda Stevens.
More trash.
Right now, this is